Hello, my dear children. Today I'm back with the final part of the lesson, The Necklace, Part 2. Today we will see how Matilda is now living in her misery, and we will also see a twist in the story which not only shocked Matilda but it will also shock all of us. So let's get going and find out. Let's read the passage. From then on, Madame Loisel knew the horrible life of the very poor, but she played her part heroically. The dreadful debt must be paid. She would pay it. They dismissed their maid. They changed their lodgings. They rented a garret under the roof. She came to know the drudgery of housework, the odious labors of the kitchen. She washed the dishes, the dirty linen. She carried the garbage down to the street every morning and carried up the water, stopping at each landing to catch her breath, and dressed like a commoner. She had to bargain at markets, quarrel, and face insults over every miserable sou. Each month they had to pay some loans, renew others, get more time. Her husband worked extra every evening doing accounts for a tradesman, and often late into the night he sat copying a manuscript at 5 sous a page. And this life lasted 10 years. At the end of 10 years, they had paid off everything, even the interest. So, children, let's see the meanings. Dismissed means send away. Lodgings means temporary accommodation. Dreadful means terrible. Garret means a small uncomfortable room at the top of the house. Drudgery means dull work. Odious means extremely unpleasant. So children, now I'll begin with the explanation. The entire life of Loisel's family had come upside down. It had changed due to the one single necklace. Because once Matilda had replaced the necklace, she had to pay back all the money that her husband had borrowed to purchase the new necklace. They sent away their maid. They had to change their house. They even rented some rooms in their top floors. Matilda now understood how difficult and unpleasant was the kitchen work. She washed the vessels and dirty clothes. She also carried the garbage down the street every morning and filled the water and carried it home. Went to the market to buy the groceries, and now she went out wearing very simple clothes like any common woman. She even fought with the shopkeepers and faced insults while bargaining for over a little amount on sou. Sou is a French coin of low value used in the past, as we have the low value coin like the 1 rupee coin. Every month they had to pay their loans. Loisel worked even more extra now. Every evening he made accounts for a merchant and made some more money. Sometimes he used to be awake late in the night to copy a manuscript, earning 5 sous for a page. And all this they did for around 10 years. After 10 long years, they had paid all their loan and even the interest. So, children, did you see a small mistake costed them their 10 long precious years? So, children, let's read the further part of the passage. Madame Loisel looked old now. Often she brooded over the past. What would have happened if she had not lost that necklace? How strange life is! How fickle! How little is needed for one to be ruined or saved! One Sunday, As she was walking in the Champs Elysees, suddenly she saw Madame Forestier, still young, still beautiful, still charming. Madame Loisel felt emotional. Should she speak to her? Yes, of course. And now that she had paid, she would tell her all. Why not? So the meanings are: brooded means think deeply about something that makes one unhappy. Fickle means changing frequently. So children, now I'll begin with the explanation. So after 10 years of struggle, Matilda looked old now. She used to always keep on thinking that if all this did not happen, then her life would have been very different. She used to think of all the unwanted struggle that they went through in the past 10 years. She kept on thinking about how a tiny mistake can destroy one's life forever. One Sunday, while she was walking in the Champs Elysees, suddenly she saw her friend Madame Forestier after 10 years. She was still very young and looked as beautiful and charming as she did 10 years ago. So now Matilda thought to herself that should she talk to Madame Forestier or no? She felt very emotional as she thought about the necklace. But finally, she made up her mind and thought of talking to her as she had paid all the loans and all the interest as well, and that she would tell her everything about what they had gone through all these years. So, children, now let's read this passage. She went up to her. Good morning, Jean. The other, astonished to be addressed so familiarly by this common woman, did not recognize her. She stammered, But, madam, I don't know. You must have made a mistake. No, I am Matilda Loisel. Her friend uttered a cry. Oh, my poor Matilda, how have you changed? Yes, I have had some hard times since I last saw you, and many miseries, and all because of you. Me? How can that be? You remember that diamond necklace that you lent me to wear to the ministry party? Yes, well, I lost it. What do you mean? You brought it back. So, children, the meanings are: astonished means greatly surprised. Miseries means sufferings. So now I'll begin with the explanation. Matilda went towards her, that is Madame Forestier, and wished her good morning. But Madame Forestier did not recognize her, as Matilda looked very old and poor. She told her that she doesn't know her and that maybe she was looking for someone else. But Matilda told her that she was her friend, Matilda Loisel. To this, Madame Forestier felt very pity on her and asked her that she looked so different. Then Matilda told her that she had a lot of problems and struggles after she had last seen her. She told her that all this had happened because of her, because of the necklace that she had borrowed and that she had lost it. Then Madame Forestier was confused and told her that the necklace she had given back to her and that it was still with her. Madame Forestier was confused because she didn't know anything about Matilda losing the necklace. So children, let's read the further part. I brought you back another exactly like it, and it has taken us 10 years to pay for it. It wasn't easy for us. We had very little, but at last it is over, and I am very glad. Madame Forestier was stunned. You say that you bought a diamond necklace to replace mine? Yes, you didn't notice then? They were very similar, and she smiled with proud and innocent pleasure. Madame Forestier, deeply moved, took both her hands. Oh, my poor Matilda! Mine was an imitation. It was worth 500 francs at most. So, children, now I'll begin with the explanation. Now, Matilda told Madame Forestier that she had returned the necklace, but that necklace was a new one, which she had bought from the shop. She further explained that buying this new necklace wasn't easy for them, as they had to lose everything that they had, and even spent their savings, and lastly paid for all the loans for 10 long years. But now that they have paid it all, and that she was happy about it. Now, children, Madame Forestier was very shocked after listening to all this. She asked her that did she really replace her necklace with a real diamond necklace? She further revealed the devastating truth that her necklace was not made of real diamonds. It was an artificial necklace which costed just around 500 francs. So, children, did you just listen to the twist here? That Matilda and her husband went through so much just to replace an artificial necklace. So, children, Matilda could have avoided all of this if she had told her friend that she had lost the necklace in the beginning, or she would have not had to suffer so much if she had listened to her husband and about wearing flowers instead of some expensive jewelry. So, children, we have complete with this lesson now. I hope you understood with the story. It was an interesting story. I would ask you to read the whole chapter, part 1 and part 2 again for better understanding. Take care, children. Thank you for listening.